everyone, my name is Chelsea. I'm one of the dietitians, the program manager, and a lactation counselor here at the Pueblo WIC office. I'll be doing the last video for you guys, so thanks for hanging in there with us for these past 3 videos. And at the end, we'll discuss how to send in all 4 emojis so that you can get credit for taking this class. I'll be guiding you through feeding choice safety and next steps. Preparation. If you're breastfeeding or formula feeding, it's important to have clean hands. Hot soapy water is best, and washing for 2 happy birthdays. So if you sing happy birthday to yourself twice, or using hand sanitizer will also work if you're unable to wash with soap and water. Some moms like to set up a breastfeeding station at home next to their favorite chair. On a table next to your favorite chair, you can include hand sanitizer, a bottle of water, and anything else that you like to have with you while you're breastfeeding. Handling and storing your breast milk. Want it straight from the tap, as we like to say. So if you're breastfeeding at the breast, it is the perfect food. It is the ideal temperature, always sterile, and there's no expiration to it as it's made on demand, simulated by the baby. If it's express breast milk, that's freshly expressed and has not already been frozen and thawed, you can leave it out on the counter for up to 4 hours at room temperature. But if it's a really hot day past 77 degrees Fahrenheit in your house, you might want to put it in the fridge sooner. It can be in a cooler that's been with 3 frozen ice packs. The ice packs have to have been frozen overnight at least for up to 24 hours. It can be up to 4 days in the fridge, up to 6 months in a freezer that's on top of your fridge, or up to 12 months in a deep freezer chest that's not attached to anything else. So if you have one of those deep freezers at home in your garage or wherever, it can stay for up to 12 months in that. Important note is to never microwave breast milk. When you're microwaving breast milk, or formula for that matter, hot spots can occur and it can burn your baby's mouth. So you might test it on your, you might test it on your arm and notice that it feels okay, and then the next sip that the baby gets might be scalding hot and burn their mouth. What you can do instead is warm up a small bowl of water, swirl that, and then swirl the breast milk in like a bottle of it or in a bag. Microwaving or boiling breast milk will destroy some of its good healthy benefits, and so we don't want to do that either. How do we clean those bottles? So sterilizing bottles is recommended for premature infants, infants with immune disorders, brand new bottles for infants of any age. So those are 3 times you definitely want to sterilize the bottles. How do we sterilize? There are 4 different methods of sterilization. The first one being boiling. So if you heat some water on the stovetop in a pan to boiling, wait 5 minutes so it continuously boiling for 5 minutes. Go ahead and put those bottles and the accessories into that pot of water. You want to boil that for 5 to 10 minutes and then let it dry on a paper towel. Method number 2 for sterilization would be via microwave. They have these nifty microwave steaming bags from Medela or other brands that you can put the bottles into that, seal it up, put it in the microwave, and it will sterilize the bottles for you as well. The cost for that is about $5 for 100 uses. The third method is using the dishwasher. So you'd place the bottles on the top shelf of the dishwasher and put that on heat cycle. Hand washing is another method. You can use hot, again, soapy water, rinse that, and again, let it air dry. Next step. So after you've decided how you'd like to feed your newborn, it's important to make the people that are supportive to you in your life aware of your decision. This way they can help you and be supportive when you're in that breastfeeding or feeding experience. You can also take classes, attend our group. So we have, like Sonia talked about, we have our breastfeeding class through WIC as well. We have a Baby's Breast Friends group that meets twice a month. And you can also be a part of our WIC texting program that Sonia also went over at the first video. I'll go over that a little bit more at the end. All right, so dads can help as well. Baby wearing has been shown to help the baby learn language skills a lot better than if they're in a carrier on the floor. So that closeness is really beneficial for the babies. Recommendations for breastfeeding. A breastfed infant should eat every 1.5 to 3 hours, or at least 8 to 12 times a day in a 24-hour period, that is. Average time at the breast is about 10 to 20 minutes each side. It's going to vary per mom and baby, and that's okay. And you might notice as you both get the hang of it that you are able to cut that time down a little bit. It does burn approximately 500 calories while you're breastfeeding for a day, so it's important to make sure that you're well nourished and you're keeping yourself hydrated as well. Recommendations for formula feeding. So this is just an estimated amount. Keep in mind that infants won't drink the same amount at every feeding. Just like you or I don't eat the same amount at every meal, the infant is going to be the same. So it won't be exactly 2 ounces every time, and that's okay. So from birth to 6 months, this is kind of a chart that shows how many ounces they would eat and about how many hours. If you have any questions about this, this is one of the handouts we normally offer in person in class. We can also send this to you either via email or in the mail. One other thing to keep in mind is babies get their days and nights confused, so don't expect them to sleep through the night, and be prepared to wake up multiple times through the night for a feeding. This is because, as we talked about in a previous video, their stomach sizes are rather small, so they can only take in a little bit at a time. Hunger and fullness cues. So how are you going to know when your baby is hungry? Is crying a good sign of if the baby is hungry? Crying is actually a distress sign and not always related to hunger. It's actually one of the later cues for hunger, so there are a lot of cues the baby gives you before they get to that stage. It's helpful to read those cues sooner so they're not to the point where they're crying and really, really hungry. What are other things that babies do to tell us that they're hungry? So sometimes they'll root, which means they're looking around and opening their mouth, allowing for us to either put the breast nipple in or the bottle nipple into their mouth. They're sucking on their hands, their fists are tight and balled up near their shoulders. They're licking their lips, turning towards the breast, latching onto dad's shoulder or whoever's shoulder is holding them. And again, they're really tensed up. When they're full, oftentimes we notice a relaxed face. Their palms open up, their shoulders get loose, and they kind of get a little like loose noodle with their arm. When you tap the breast nipple or the bottle nipple to their top lip, they don't open their mouth. This is usually a sign of fullness. Sleeping is also another good sign of them being full. Now we're going to show you a video clip regarding feeding cues. So this is going to show you a baby that is full, but the mom's not noticing this cue. When the baby is giving fullness signs, it's important that we stop offering the bottle at that time and not forcing the baby to finish the bottle. Forcing the baby to finish the bottle or even putting the bottle back in the baby's mouth allows formula or breast milk, if you're feeding pumped breast milk, to still drip into the baby's mouth. They're forced then to keep swallowing, and that can lead to overfeeding. Rooting and pacing feedings is very important whether you decide to feed breast milk or formula through a bottle. Rooting is the act of gently tapping the nipple, breast nipple, or bottle nipple to the top lip. The baby opens its mouth, and that gives permission for you to insert the breast or the bottle and to feed them. Pacing helps to avoid that overfeeding we just talked about. Taking the bottle out of their mouth or bending it back so no air can get through the nipple every 20 to 30 seconds. And letting the baby take small 3-second breaks, then placing on the top lip again to root and repeat, can be similar to how the baby feeds at the breast. This is a nice slow-paced feeding so that baby doesn't overfeed. Also, by knowing how much your baby should be taking from the bottle, you help them regulate how much they should get from the bottle too. So as we saw on that chart a couple slides ago, we're not going to be feeding 8 ounces formula to a newborn baby. That's too much for their small belly. This next video talks about other cues that baby might give in relation to hunger and also other signs such as too much attention, bright lights, and other things like that, or diaper change.
At first, it may be hard for you to understand your baby's cues. Newborns don't have very much control over their bodies, and their cues can be confusing. Fortunately, babies and parents quickly get better at understanding each other. At first, your baby will stare at your face and follow your voice for a short time. When he's older, he will watch your lips as you speak to him. When you smile, he will try to smile back. These cues mean that he wants to be near you. When you talk or play with him, he'll be working hard to learn as much as he can. Don't be surprised if all this learning makes him tired. When your baby is hungry, she will use lots of cues. She will bring her hands towards her mouth, move her head from side to side, open and close her mouth, and try to latch. When he's done, he'll turn away or use his hands to let you know he's had enough. When babies get tired, overstimulated, or uncomfortable, they will tell you they want something to be different by turning away, pushing away, or arching away. These cues can be confusing because the baby can't tell you what needs to be different. You'll need to look around and figure out what might be bothering your baby. Does she have a wet diaper? Is she sleepy? Are the lights too bright? Or are there any loud noises? Sometimes babies need time away from excited brothers and sisters or too many new faces. When you see the cues that your baby needs something to be different, you can keep your baby from getting fussy by responding quickly and fixing the problem. There's no need to worry if you don't always know what to do. Your baby will tell you when you get it right.
Skin to skin after delivery and beyond has a lot of benefits. There's a power in skin to skin contact to bond and heal through that. It helps a baby that's too sleepy to eat, helps with recovery from a hard delivery, and helps mom and dad to create a bond between themselves and their babies. After delivery, it can help them to regulate their temperature, help to slow their breathing, and get them kind of acclimated to being outside of the womb. Regardless of how you choose to feed your baby, doing skin to skin every day can be a great experience for both mom or dad and baby. Always hold your baby close to you when you feed them and pay attention to them, never propping your bottle. That shows them that you're giving them the love, closeness, and attention that they need. Another important thing to keep in mind is waiting until around 6 months of age to feed your baby solid foods. The research shows that waiting until 6 months allows the baby's gut to finish developing, so at that point it's ready to begin taking different textures. Oftentimes we've noticed that feeding before this can lead to future food allergies, so that's what we're trying to prevent by waiting until 6 months. Once again, just a reminder to sign up for our Breastfeeding Peer Counselor program. Go ahead and text BFMOM to 839-863. Answer the couple questions and you'll be enrolled. This connects you with someone that's currently breastfeeding or previously breastfed for at least 6 months, if not longer. Our peers are there for questions, to answer your questions, and for any information that you may need about breastfeeding. Thank you for listening to our videos. We hope you enjoyed them, learned a lot, and feel comfortable making an informed decision on how to feed your baby. Go ahead and text all 4 emojis from the different videos to 719-225-0065 right now. After we receive all your emojis, a WIC staff member will contact you to issue benefits and discuss when your next appointment will be. Thank you again and have a great day.